We all want to live great lives. I mean, I've never stumbled upon someone who set out in life to live a boring, ho-hum, monotonous life. But what I have come to realize over the years is that building a truly significant life takes intentionality. That's why I want to invite you over the next month and a half to come to Journey Church. We're going to be talking about some of the basic building blocks that go into building a great life. We'll be talking about values such as faith and service, commitment, sacrifice, purpose, and thanksgiving. This is stuff that's going to be great for you individually. It's going to be great for your family. But more importantly, we're going to zoom out and ask, how can we see great lives built all over our community through the ministries of Journey Church? When we started Journey Church 4.5 years ago, we were fortunate to be able to meet right here at this location, 2095 West McPherson Highway. We rent this facility for $1,000 a month. The only downside, we don't have a lease. At any point, our landlord can give us 30 days, and we've got to be out of here. I actually thank God for this location. It's here that God has grown a bunch of strangers into a church. Yet this building has had its limitations. For example, the sanctuary can only comfortably seat about 70 people, which has led us to create a second service. And that doesn't even scratch the surface of our kids' issues. We've had to turn a room that was never meant to be a classroom into a nursery. And if you have ever served in a nursery, you know first, it's cramped quarters for sure. Second, every bit of noise in here can be heard in the sanctuary. Our kids' spaces have been maxed out for years, and while we've done everything we can to make them attractive environments, the lack of space really has been a barrier for us. Our restrooms are hardly ideal. Have you ever had to awkwardly wait in the hallway for someone to finish their business? Speaking of which, I imagine that most of you have gotten out of your cars on a Sunday morning only to be greeted by the foul aroma of our neighbors across the street. Listen, this facility has been great for us over the last 4.5 years. It's been great for the first chapter of our church. But wisdom dictates that we begin looking toward the future, that we work toward a facility where we can see God build great lives. Thankfully, God has already been working on our behalf. Back in the 1980s, Pastor David Dome of Calvary Assembly of God had a vision about relocating Calvary from an old church building in downtown Fremont to a piece of property on the corner of State Route 19 and State Route 20. The property was an old driving range that included a putt-putt and go-kart track across the street. So in 1985 and 1986, the people of Calvary sacrificed and gave of their finances to purchase the property. 3 years later, during the celebration of Calvary's 50th anniversary, Pastor Dome revealed the proposal to build a new building on the newly purchased property. Unfortunately, the building was never built, and a little over 7 years ago, Calvary Assembly closed their doors for good. Pastor Dome passed away in August 2006 from multiple myeloma, and his wife Terry passed away in May 2011 from ovarian cancer. Pastor Dome's daughter Jennifer recently wrote to me saying, "I know that if my dad and mom were alive today, they would be so excited and proud to see an old vision finally come to life. Dad had such a great plans for that property and knew that God would one day use it for His glory. I pray that this new church will breathe fresh life into this old vision." God has preserved and given to us this piece of land that is over twice the size of the property where we currently meet. On top of that, we have State Route 20, we have State Route 19, we have a stoplight, and did I mention that the nearest pig farm is over a mile away? Our dream is to build a 7,000 square foot building right here on this property. As a reference point, that's 2 to 3 times the size of the building where we currently meet. Part of that building will be a multi-purpose room. On Sunday mornings, it will be able to handle 200 to 250 adults. On Tuesday nights, we'll use it for youth group, and throughout the year, we'll use it for our community outreach events. In addition, we'll have space for our children through nursery, We Adventure, and Kid Adventure. And we're even going to put in restrooms that'll handle more than one person at a time. God has been so faithful to Journey. For a church that is less than 5 years old, I'm blown away at what He has accomplished already. But I believe He wants us to also continually look forward to what He has. Together, we can work toward building a facility that can house the vision that God has for our church and for our community. The bottom line is, I'm asking you to make 4 commitments. First of all, would you commit to being a part of our Sunday morning services at Journey Church over the next 6 weeks? You're going to learn important truths that are going to help you individually, and they're going to help your family. But also, you're going to see how you can be a part of something that is so much bigger than yourself. Secondly, would you commit to being a part of our life groups over the next 6 weeks? Our life groups are simply going to meet on Wednesdays at noon and at 7:00 p.m. at the church. And again, it's a 6-week commitment. Third, would you commit to reading through our Building Great Lives devotional? These devotionals are going to reinforce the truths that you're learning on Sunday mornings and that you're learning in your life group. Fourth and finally, would you begin praying and asking God what you can commit to giving to our Building Great Lives Spiritual Emphasis campaign? On Sunday, October 30th, we're going to ask you to come ready to give. And I know that if you will pray and ask God what you, and in some cases your family, should give, He's going to be faithful to make that clear to you. In addition to praying about that offering on October 30th, would you commit to praying for me, our board of stewards, and our entire church, that we would have ears to hear what the Holy Spirit is whispering to us, and that we would have the courage to step out and act on it. Thank you for your commitment to Journey Church. God bless you.